So unfortunately, dead robots after a save or after a fast travel, they respawn on their sides. And when they respawn, they're kind of, if you can see, they're a little bit twitchy. So I think I had to build 2 or 3 sets of robots. If you see in the beginning of the video, the robot graveyard alongside where I just pushed them off because I was so mad. But yeah, so I had to create new ones because the old ones were twitchy and they were sliding all over the place. But basically I just wanted to show in this clip how you kind of manipulate them with the broom, push them around, and that sort of thing. So that's basically what I was trying to show here. Okay, so the rocket. So this rocket to me is like a child who's been through rehab a couple of times. You know, you love them because they're your kid, but they definitely put you through hell. And there are serious trust issues. So basically, each one of these light boxes is wired to a conduit back here. I did that just for troubleshooting issues because otherwise there'd just be no way to troubleshoot it if you had a problem. So each one of those conduits is wirelessly wired to the logic gates, which we will check out next. So as you can see, I had to pull each one of these levels out. If you can see right in there is where I hung the cycling lights so I could get the effect of the glow of the exhaust. And unfortunately for me, I didn't think that I would have to do this until after I had built this entire thing and wired it up, and it's rounded. So well, it's hard to see, but it's rounded. So pulling that thing apart and rebuilding it was an absolute nightmare, which I just won't go into. So anyhow, each one of the conduits from that wall back there is wired to the conduits on the logic gates on this wall right here. And then I have a series of delay switches, and each one of the delay switches goes to one of these conduits right here. And those wires go to the logic gates. I think these are XNOR gates. We can find out, I guess. XOR gates. Okay, well, whatever it is, it's the one that only provides power if one input is powered. So the first time it receives power from one of the delayed on switches, that turns the light on, and then the second time it turns the light off. It's not really complex as far as theory, it's just complex as far as wiring the sucker up. And then this is a great example of using the sign glitch for utility, because I couldn't, if I had these wires in front, then I couldn't reach it the next time I needed to wire something up. So I pulled them all back here so that they wouldn't impinge with the next wiring cycle. So there you go, everything's labeled. I forgot what half of these things stand for, so we're not going to look at that. But anyhow, the last thing is, of course, the sound. So I have 4 firework mortars with firework crackle shells, and the interval switch, the minimal amount is 1 second on the interval switch. So these are all delayed by 1/4 second. So you have 4 of these firing basically every second. So I think I can hook this up and make it go. At this point I have no idea, but we'll find out. So there you go, that also gave the additional bonus. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. Oh. Okay, are we done? Possibly. Okay, thank you so much. So that gave the additional bonus of the screen shake, which was awesome. I had no idea that would happen that way. But I mean, that's basically it. And then the other thing that I was going to say is I could have had 8 of them, but the sound will only render so much. I mean, the same as the flamethrowers there, it'll only render so much. So if you overbuild, it just won't show anymore. So I went with 4, and it had a pretty good effect. So there you go. That's pretty much how the rocket works. Okay, well, you want to know why I now hate ice cream? This is why. Because... oh, that's not what I want. These are the oddest, possibly the oddest items in the game. And here is why. Because they can be both pillar glitched and rug glitched, but neither one very well. And the order in which you do it seems to make a difference. So if I grab this, that's nothing. But if I grab this, this thing acts as a unit. And come on. Now I can pillar glitch, if it's gonna behave, I can pillar glitch the whole thing into the ground. But the weird thing is that sometimes once you've placed an object where the post can't be sunk into the ground, then the whole thing will not glitch into the ground anymore. Or maybe it's once you've created one of these ice creams in a location in which it can't be sunk into the ground, then none of the other, everything else connected to it will no longer sink into the ground. It's just bizarre. I was absolutely pulling my hair out over this, but anyhow, that's how that was done. So there you go.